Bet you 10 quid we hit the ruins before sunset, Liam said, kicking loose stones down the sheep track. Mia adjusted her overloaded backpack, sweat already dampening her temples, despite the cool northern air. Easy money for me. Your map readings are worse than your jokes. She nodded towards the crumpled ordnance survey sheet, flapping in Ben's hands. Ben squinted at contour lines while Chloe snapped photos of distant hills swallowed by thickening mist. They deviated from the main path an hour ago, lured by local tales of crumbling Victorian schoolhouse hidden in the valley. The story promised carved initials in rotten desks and a bell tower chocked by ivory. Now, slate grey clouds pressed low, erasing the sun. Heather scratched at their ankles as they pushed through a gap in a collapsed dry stone wall. The ruins weren't a school. 14 roofless cottages hunched against a hillside like broken teeth. Their windows gaping black. A deep shadow yawned beside the largest building, a mine entrance. Its timber supports sagging under centuries of weight. Fog slithered down the slopes, wrapping the valley in wet wool. Well, Ben muttered, folding the map. Wrong ruins. Chloe shivered. Fire. Now. They scrambled towards the sturdiest structure, its hearth still standing beneath the sooted, stained chimney. Liam dropped his pack. Home sweet home. Outside, the fog swallowed the hills whole. Damp wood hissed and spat at the hearth, casting long leaping shadows on the crumbling walls. Ben passed around lukewarm tea from his thermos. Anyone else hear that? A faint tap, tap, tap echoed from the mine at it. Like stone on stone. Mia dismissed it, wind knocking loose rocks, but when she reached for her chocolate bar, it was gone. Only crumpled foil remained. The fire died inexplicably twice, plunging them into biting cold and darkness, thick as tar. Each time Liam relit it with numb fingers. Then Chloe's torch vanished. It was right here. Panic edged her voice. Ben shone his light across the rubble-strewn floor. Nothing. Outside the doorway, Mia froze. Liam, look! Tiny hunched shapes flickered at the edge of the torch beam near the mine entrance, vanishing like smoke when the light touched them. Liam scoffed, but his knuckles were white on his torch handle. Trick of the light. Fog plays games. He stomped towards the mine mouth to prove it. As he stepped onto the loose scree, a low, guttering growl vibrated through the ground, deeper than any wind. It wasn't human. Chloe grabbed Mia's arm. What was that? The shadows inside the adit seemed to coil and thicken. They spent a frantic hour searching the roofless cottages, kicking aside rotten timbers and rusted tin cans. Ben's spare batteries vanished from his open pack. Mia's water bottle rolled around, untouched, and disappeared. Behind a collapsed wall, near a crumbling fireplace, choked with nettles, Chloe's boot kicked something solid. A small, leather-bound journal. Its pages bristle and stained with damp. They huddled by the struggling firelight. They cramped handwriting told of Tommyknockers, guiding miners to rich lead veins, and the bitter price when tribute stopped. People vanished, Mia read aloud, her voice tight. Mine collapsed. Whispers in the dark. The final page were torn out, leaving only jagged edges and dread. A sharp cry sliced through the fog. Ben's voice roared with terror, echoing from the deep within the mine. "Help! It's got Chloe!" Mia launched towards the adit. Liam close behind, their torches carving trembling circles in the suffocating dark. The air thickened with the smell of wet earth and something older, metallic and sour, as they scrambled over fallen rocks. Whisper slithered along the tunnel walls, dry, rasping sounds like pebbles shaken in the tin. Then a low, wet gurgling vibrated in their bones. "Get out!" The tunnel forked left or right. Ben's fading shouts pulled them left. They screeched through a gap, slick with algae. Liam's torch beam catching frantic claw marks on the stone. Suddenly a roar filled the passage. Not the creature, but the mountain itself shifting. Dust choked them as rock cascaded down, sealing the way back. Mia coughed, blinking grit from her eyes. Liam was gone, swallowed by the collapse. Alone now, Mia pressed forward, the beam of her dying torch trembling over jagged walls. Deeper in, a flickering orange glow spilled from a side chamber. A miner's workshop. Tools rusted to ghosts on the wall. On a scarred wooden bench lay the journal's missing pages. Mia snatched them up, her fingers shaking as she read the frantic script. Not the Tommyknockers. Dug too deep, awoke it. The description froze her blood. Tall, hunched, wolf-jawed, claws like sickles. The miner, desperate plan leapt off the page. Lure it back, seal the pit. Explosives, a wet scrape echoed behind her. She spun. Yellow eyes gleamed in the doorway, pupils slit like a cat's. The creature unfolded itself from the shadows. A nightmare of a matted fur stretched over two long limbs. Claws clicking on the stone. Mia bolted. Pages fluttering from her grasp. It lunged, a snarl ripping the air as she ducked into the wider tunnel. Its breath hot and rancid on her neck, she ran blind. Heart hammering towards the yawning blackness ahead. The pit. Inside the vast cavern, the beam of her failing torch caught Ben slumped against a crate of crumbling dynamite, his face bloodied but conscious. Chloe lay nearby, unnervingly still. "Mia," Ben croaked. Pointing past her, the creature padded silently, head cocked, saliva dripping from its jaws, lined with jagged teeth. It sniffed Chloe's prone form. Suddenly, Liam's voice echoed from a fissure high on the wall. "Down!" His torch beam stabbed down, blinding the beast. Mia scrambled to Ben, hauling him up as Liam slid down the scree. Landing hard, the creature screeched, shielding its eyes, and then charged. Liam shoved Mia towards Chloe. "Get her!" He snatched a rusted plunger box near the pit's edge. The beast swiped, claws tearing Ben's jacket as Mia dragged Chloe backwards. Liam slammed the plunger down. Nothing. The creature whirled, eyes locking on him. Desperate, Liam jammed the handle again. A fused spark deepened the tunnel. The creature froze, ears twitching towards hissing sound. Then the mountain roared. Dust blasted through the cavern as the first charge detonated. Rocks rained down, sealing the tunnel mouth. The creature shrieked, disorientated, lunging blindly through the haze. Mia shielded Chloe's limp body as debris pelted them. Liam scrambled over, grabbing Ben's arm. "The pit!" he yelled over the crumbling chaos. "Now!" They stumbled towards the explosives-lined chasm. A secondary blast shook the ground. The creature staggered, half buried by falling slate, its howl cut off abruptly as the final charge erupted at the pit's edge. A wall of rock and dirt collapsed inwards, swallowing the abyss and the beast in a thunderous roar of stone. Silence crashed down, thick with dust and the acidic tang of dynamite. Coughing, Liam shone his flickering torch. The pit was a tomb of rubble. Ben groaned, clutching his bleeding side. Chloe lay pale and unmoving. Mia pressed trembling fingers to her neck. She shed, slick with sweat and terror. "Alive," Mia whispered outside. Muffled voices echoed through the shattering tunnel. Human voices shouting. The fog had lifted. Rescue was coming. But the mountain held its breath. They hauled Chloe between them, stumbling over shifting rocks. Ben limped badly, leaving smears of crimson on fallen stone. Liam's torch finally gutted out, plunging them into utter blackness. They inched forward, by torch alone. The distant shouts their only guide. Mia's hand brushed something cold and wet. A patch of thick, matted fur trapped under boulders. She snatched her hand back, bile rising in her throat. The creature was buried, not beaten. Its low, guttural growl vibrated through the rock beneath their feet. Sunlight stabbed their eyes as they staggered from the mine mouth. Collapsing onto damp grass, figures rushed towards them, hikers drawn by the explosion. Paramedics swarmed Chloe, strapping her to a stretcher. Ben staggered against Liam, his face grey. Liam met Mia's graze over the chaos. His eyes held no relief, only a haunted understanding. The journal pages were ash. The truth was buried with the beast. But the Tommyknockers, faint tap, 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 echoed from the sealed adit. A chilling reminder the mountain kept its secrets and its debts. The rescue team prepped them with questions. Rockfall, Liam grasped. Voice raw, lost track exploring. Mia nodded numbingly. Clutching her torn jacket, she watched Chloe's stretcher vanish into the ambulance. Ben winced as medics lifted him. The rescuers' chatter faded. They bought the lie for now. Mia glanced back. The fog was gone, but the valley felt heavier watching him. Leah helped Mia into the last ambulance. The door slammed shut, sealing them in sterile white light. He gripped her hands, his knuckles white. "It's not over," he whispered. Outside the ruined village, blurred past the window. Near the mine entrance, a tiny cluster of hunched shadows flickered. Briefly in the sunlight, then vanishing like dust motes. Mia squeezed her eyes shut, the faint tapping noise following them wherever they go, a warning for what awaits when they go off the beaten path. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe, share it with someone who likes similar stories, and I'll see you on the next one.